champ is here, UFC featherweight champion Alex Volkanovski. Alex, it's been a long time, man. We haven't seen you since July. I'm very interested to catch up with you and see what you've been doing, man. How was Christmas, first of all?
Yeah, Christmas was good. It was really good. There's been a couple of years where I had to miss out on Christmas so I could fight. But this year, it was pretty quiet. We got to spend time with the family, which is always good. But man, I'm ready to get back into it. I want to fight, and so I'm hoping early next year. Where we the conversations with the UFC have sort of slowed down over obviously holiday break, but we do want Christmas. They did throw a date at us, which we just said, oh look, we want that fight. We definitely want it. Let's just look at this date here, on this card that was going to work. I won't throw too much details out there, but we're just waiting for them to hear back because obviously we're ready to go. I want to get back into camp. Even if I have to get over to New Zealand, I need to know early. So I need the UFC to get back to me. So we're waiting on them. And then I want to get to New Zealand and do some of my camp there, and looking forward to it.
Well, Dana White, he comes out and says that he's targeting February. So is that something that you're looking at, or you just told me that you don't want to put the date out there, but that's what Dana White said. So we got to ask you.
Well, that was a date. That was a date that they threw out. I think they needed to fill in a card. But again, with everything that's happened on this side of the world, especially we're having more cases here, and we're starting to get lockdowns close to where we are. And obviously New Zealand, I do my camps there. We just need a little bit of notice, and I think that they had a couple of fighters fall through, so we just told them, say, look, no, we want that fight. Let's just do it. Again, I won't throw dates or anything there, but let's just do it this date. So early next year is still our goal. I want to get in there. I wanted to get in there end of this year, but it just wasn't looking likely. So we said, all right, early next year, let's do it.
How long have you been ready to fight?
Man, I'm all, mate, how many conversations have we had? How many interviews have we done? I'm always staying ready. I'm always staying fit. I'm always in good nick. But again, obviously with everything that's happening, I've just been here at Freestyle Fighting Gym, which is fine. But a lot of times I like to, do a bit in Tug Muay Thai, do a bit at New Zealand. So it is different, but at the same time, we're keeping fit, we're staying strong. We're making sure our base is always at a good level. When we want to turn it up, when we get notice for a fight, we go, yep, let's do it. Bring it on, and then we get stuck right into it. But again, we're working on visas and things like that to get me over to New Zealand. Well, as we speak, we're doing that right now. So when the UFC gives us a date, we head over there. Again, there's a lot of things that you need to get through, especially with the 2-week quarantines. We're still doing them here. So for me to go to New Zealand, I need to do a 2-week quarantine no matter what. So I just need to know about a fight well in advance, so I could do my 2-week quarantine and then get into camp, or we just need notice so we can organise everything. So I want to get in there though, brother. I want to get in there.
A lot of red tape, a lot of underlying factors, but one thing's clear: Brian Ortega is going to be the title challenger, and he recently had an incredible performance against the Korean Zombie. I just wanted to get your thoughts on what he did in the new version of him.
Yeah, man, it was good. It took me by surprise because I didn't expect him to fight. I wouldn't say fight smart, but I mean, his shot selections. There was a couple of things that I just didn't expect. I thought, he would just be looking for the finish. That's what he does, and sometimes they can get careless and then they can just get this tunnel vision. They just want to go, do their own thing. But there he showed patience, shot selections, fakes, a lot of things that obviously we work on. Whether he's took some notes out of our book, I don't know, but he's obviously definitely stepped it up, and he looked good. He really did look good. What I like to say in that fight against Korean Zombie, I was actually picking Korean Zombie to win that, purely because I just think they both usually fight pretty similar. But obviously my fight with them, just as without being disrespectful, as simple as shot selections, you know what I mean? Just not making it an ugly brawl where I think that would be their only chance. That's how you do it. And then Ortega was able to switch that on Zombie and then just make it look easy. So that's how I always thinking like, I could make it look pretty easy against them. And again, no disrespect, but that's how I see it. I believe there's levels to this game, and Ortega showed that he stepped it up a whole nother level, and he looked good. So it's exciting for me, you know what I mean? So, but he didn't show me anything I don't already know. That's the thing.
Well, I thought that, he showed another side of himself, you know what I mean? Another side of his skill set. The development is there. And also yourself, you showed that too when you stepped up and fought for the title against Max. Cerebrally, you're at another level, and then you showed it in the rematch also. So when you look at Ortega, you know what I mean, do you feel like he can develop into a different fighter more than he has shown?
Oh, 100%. Like, you could see that he has had a whole, like, his whole camp. He explained in his last fight leading up, like, how he's changed his whole camp, his whole focus, everything. And you could see it. With that year, he's obviously leaps and bounds. Like, I'm surprised how well he was able to, really stick to things that he's worked on, and he nailed it. Like, especially. So, who knows in the next few months? I'm sure he's getting better and better. So I'm expecting the best Ortega there ever has been. Again, he's dangerous. He's a dangerous fighter. He's dangerous everywhere as well. So it's exciting for me, but at the same time, I really do believe I'm just at a whole nother level, and I'm so well-rounded. I could take the fight wherever it is. I'm the guy that never quits. I'm the guy that, I'm going to put all, it's hard to explain. Like, with me, I can go so deep with, it's so easy to say I'm well-rounded, but it goes so much deeper than that. There's so many little things that I just have down to a T, and, I work so hard to make sure that I am such a complete fighter that, if someone gives me trouble somewhere, I can always just take it somewhere else. You know what I mean? I'm going to be more than comfortable no matter where it takes me. Even if I have to go to the ground with Ortega, a lot of people, I'm hearing them like even himself saying that I ain't going to, there's no ways, I don't need to worry about him taking me down. I'm like, we'll see. Again, like, I I obviously can't give too much away, but if I want to take someone down, I can. Am I going to have a BJJ match with him in the middle of a UFC fight? No. But again, I'm a very smart fighter. There's different rules to just on the BJJ mats. We can punch you in the face. We've got a cage. That throws. There's a lot of obstacles in the MMA cage, especially when you can use your hands and elbows and whatnot. So this is it's a whole different world. Again, I've got so much respect for BJJ. I do so much of it myself. But again, if I want to take it to the ground, I'll be more than comfortable to do so.
Well, I've seen you submit people before. I've seen you win the title, PXC title, with the triangle choke over Yusuke Yachi. So it's not like you don't have those skills.
These legs do triangles? Shit. How's that, eh? These midget legs. I got them long arms, but them midget legs, mate, them midget legs, they can still triangle. You watch out. Once they get in, they get tight.
If you could envision how this fight plays out, what do you see against Ortega?
Again, like just with his fight with Max, again, you're seeing that it's not easy to work on a gas tank. Some people just have it, and some people don't. And, obviously you can grow, but you can't, I believe that I'm going to break him. The way that Max did, I believe that that's somewhere that I can go with it, especially with my style, especially my pressure style. This is another thing. Again, I didn't want to give too much away, but I'm just gonna just chat to you anyway. But like, this is a fun fight for me because I believe I get to put the pressure on. I get to be in his face, which is fun. People want to see that. This is a fight where I believe, Ortega, I don't care how much he's working on his fitness, I'll still be able to get in his head, in his face, and grind him down. And and that's why it's going to be a fun fight. It's dangerous. Don't get me wrong. It's a dangerous fight. Ortega, we've seen him knock out plenty of guys. So obviously I'm going to be there. But again, there's levels to this, and I believe my pressure, when I use it, my pressure is just on a whole nother level that not many people in the world has ever felt. People always hear about my pressure, and then they train with me, they spar with me, and then they're like, fuck. There's that pressure people fucking talk about. You know what I mean? It's just a whole different level. You hear Israel Adesanya say to himself that I'm half his size, and then when we're sparring, he realizes, like, this guy's pressuring me, getting me on the back foot. He's like, wait, this guy's half my size. I ain't going to let that happen. So he stands his ground before he knows he's on the back foot, worrying about what I'm doing. So he goes, just got a knack for just being able to put pressure and get people on the back foot and really worry about what I'm doing. And that's something that you don't understand until I'm standing in front of you. So they can train for it as much as they want, but once I'm in front of you, really putting that pressure on, it's just a whole different beast.
No doubt. Well, another big fight that's coming up in the division is Kattar versus Holloway on January 16th. I wanted to get your thoughts on this matchup. And do you feel like if Kattar can put away Holloway, he deserves the next shot after Ortega?
Man, like it'd be pretty hard to deny him that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It'd be pretty hard to deny him that. I know he Zabit just beat him not too long ago, but the fact that Zabit isn't fine, I think if Zabit fought, I think that he would have jumped the line in front of Ortega, to be quite honest. I believe there were so many guys that were just right there. It was like whoever took it first, and then Korean Zombie, Ortega, UFC. This is number one contender because there's no one else, and that's it. Ortega put on a good performance, and now he's got the shot. But in saying that, Kattar goes good, so that's going to be a tough fight. It's going to be a good fight stylistically. Obviously, with both of them with their hands, but I just believe Max is obviously he's a lot more well-rounded than people think. He never usually has to go other routes. But this fight, we might see a different Max Holloway, which is going to be exciting. But I mean, Kattar's no joke. So I've definitely got my eye on Kattar. I've definitely got my eye on Zabit. I've definitely got my eye on Ortega. I've got my eye on all of them. You know what I mean? Again, every time you talk to me, I've always said this as well. I've got my eye on every single one of them. So I'm expecting to take out one by one and be the greatest featherweight that there's ever been. So to do so, it's a good time to do it because we've got absolute killers in our division. So you start taking out contender after contender, mate, it's going to be hard to deny me that GOAT status. So I'm looking forward to it.
There's this narrative out there amongst the fans that we need to see you versus Holloway 3. That's something that we need to see. And some people are saying that we need to see it in the next fight and push Ortega to the side. Does that kind of annoy you that they still want to see it after you beat the guy twice in a row?
Oh, look, it is annoying. It is annoying. Like, people just quickly forget. You know what I mean? Again, all they remember is the close fight we had July last year. That's all they remember, and it was a close fight. It was very competitive. Max showed up early. I didn't really show up, but luckily enough, as I said, I'm so well rounded, and I've got that grit, and I'm gonna push myself. I ain't gonna make excuses, but there was if there was gonna be a day that Max Holloway was gonna beat me, that was the day. Let me just put that out there. And I was still able to steal them last 3 rounds. So that just shows you how good I am. But people are going to quickly forget that too. So again, it is annoying, but at the same time, I understand it. It was a close fight. You know what I mean? It was a very competitive fight, and it's 2 of the best going at it. I think a lot of people, even though they want to say what they want, obviously there's a lot of hate and people saying what they want at the same time. There's so much people that appreciate 2 of the guys at the highest level having this chess match. And just really, you know what I mean? And like, it's sort of, that's a lot of people are talking about it, but it's still a lot of people are missing that. And they don't realize that what they got to see was fucking rare. You know what I mean? It is rare to see 2 of the highest level figuring each other out and then really adjusting every minute, and doing the slightest things that people couldn't even pick up. You know what I mean? There's just, again, the fight IQ that was involved in both our fights was just incredible, and people are missing that because they're just, obviously they see the first 2 rounds and that's all they remember, and I ain't really going to get into that. But it's just, at the same time, I understand it, but come on, I ain't going to just keep rematching him till he wins. I know that's what everyone wants. Everyone just wants wants me to keep rematching him till he wins, even the UFC. But fuck, I've got a division to hold. You know what I mean? And I've got to take care of everyone in my division, so I can't just keep rematching him because the casuals want me to.
No doubt. Now, we got some guys calling MMA fighters out. You got this guy, Jake Paul, calling out fighters. And do you think he's being really good at selecting who he calls out?
Oh, 100%. 100%. Of course he is. Obviously, he's very, very selective. There's fights that he knows will be big, that he can win. And then there's fights that'll be that big, he don't care if he loses. You know what I mean? Calling out Conor McGregor and things like that. That fight will be that big for him that, all right, I'll cop a beating for that money, for that hype. You get what I mean? So, let's be realistic. He ain't going to beat the highest level in MMA or the highest level in boxing. Don't get me wrong. Like I got actually follow him on Instagram, and like you watch him hit pads. Like when he's fighting these other guys. Again, I'm not throwing any hate, but like you could, he's obviously levels above him because he actually trains. He actually gets stuck into it. So I'll give credit where it's due. He actually can throw him, but at the same time, there's levels, right? And he's calling out guys that are nowhere near. He's nowhere near on their level, but the fights are going to be that big that it's worth it. Then there's guys that smart grapplers. We can see a few grapplers that he's throwing out there. It's clever because again, no hate to Ben Askren, but he's not the best striker in the world. Calling out Ben Askren's probably a good one. And then you got Dylan Dennis. Again, they can't ragdoll him to the ground and then beat him up on the floor, so they've got to stay on the feet. So of course it's strategy to it. He's a smart man. He hasn't made millions of dollars for no reason. So again, credit where it's due, but at the same time, obviously he's picking and choosing.
Now, sticking with the theme of calling people out, you got guys like Patricio Pitbull calling you out from other promotions. When you hear that, when you see that, what runs through your mind? Because most likely that will never happen unless he signs with the UFC.
Yeah, of course it won't happen. They know it's not going to happen. But again, they're going to throw it out there. Especially the biggest promotion in the world, has to be UFC. So if you're calling out the champion and getting people talking about it, obviously it's good, even if the fight doesn't happen. Get people talking. That's what you see it time and time again. People are just calling out anyone just to stay relevant. You know what I mean? And again, he probably does want the fight. But at the same time, the chances of it happening probably are slim. And if it does happen, I'll kick his ass anyway. So I'm sure, again, I got respect for him. But again, just throwing big punches and being powerful isn't enough. For plenty of guys like that, and I showed them that, you know what I mean, that being one-dimensional and throwing big stupid punches against punching bags in front of you. Again, I feel like I'm throwing so much shade on his opponents, but you watch some of these highlights and you think, what was his opponent bloody doing? Again, so it's hard for me not to throw shade when I feel like they're pretty much punching bags standing in front of him, and then he thinks he's the man for it. But at the same time, sorry people, but your power wouldn't work with me. Let me tell you that. I'll crumble you so quick it wouldn't be funny. But anyway, it ain't going to happen, so I won't even waste my energy on it.
All right. All right, two more things before I let you go. The first thing is, most people, they want Jay-Z, Drake, Lil Wayne to mention them in a rap song. You got Henry Cejudo. When you saw that, what was you thinking?
Oh man, I love that sort of stuff, man. I'll be lying if I don't. I think it's funny, good on him. You know what I mean? But again, he's doing what he can. He's staying busy on social media. I tell you that. He ain't, he's supposedly retired, so he's not busy in the octagon, but he's busy on Twitter. He's busy on Instagram. So fair play to him. But it was fun. Again, I always wanted to be in a song, so I'm happy with that. I'll take that for now.
Do you see him coming back this year in 2021?
Yeah, I do. The fact that you could see that he's still trying to get in there, and he's been calling me out, and he's been relentless with it. He's slowed down a little bit now, but I really do think that there's fights that will bring him back. But again, I think it's got to be the right fight, the right money. But is the UFC willing to give him that money? He's chasing that paycheck, but the UFC going to give him that. If they do, then he'll be back.
You released a book in 2020. I wanted to get an update on that. How's it going?
Yeah, it's going good. It's a lot of good feedback. The feedback from it is unreal. So again, as I keep explaining, it's a different side to UFC martial arts that people miss. Again, you know what I mean? And people get that when they read it. It's a book that they want. Parents want to read to their kids. It's a book that builds resilience. And just all that type of stuff that you want your kid to sort of, good morals and values, and show that, hard work, or, if you focus on something and commit to it, you can get to whatever you want to be. So, the message in it is pretty incredible. And the feedback we're getting as soon as people get to read it, the feedback's been incredible. So it's been consistent too, but we're ready to step it and take it to a next level. So we're looking forward to it. I think I've got one of the girls back there. No, she's gone.
Well, are you planning on going internationally? Is it international right now, or are you planning on going international with it?
Yeah. Well, we are gonna. Yeah, we definitely are planning on moving it. Obviously, you can get it. So a lot of it we're doing organically at the moment, which is pretty incredible for the support that we've had. For the fact that we're doing it organically at the moment, but we're ready to step it to the next level. So keep an eye on that, and it'll be in your face a lot more than how it is now. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Again, it's a good message. It's something that I'm proud of. It's something that's good for the sport. It's something that that's what as you know me, like I'm not the guy that the UFC probably want me to be, or or whatever it is. I ain't gonna sit there and badmouth people for no reason. I ain't gonna just chuck dollies through fucking car bus windows. You know what I mean? I ain't that guy. If you piss me off, all right, I'm gonna retaliate. I'm gonna talk back. Don't worry. But at the same time, I'm all about the respect, honor, discipline, all that stuff that martial arts is all about. And again, I want. There's a lot of good role models in our sport, and we don't get to see that too much. So this is something that it's a good message that I want people to sort of see. Besides the hate and the abuse and all that crazy stuff that we're always seeing. Don't get me wrong, I love that too, but there is a different side. People need to remember that.
Definitely a different side, and you being yourself. That's, I think, the most important thing out there, and not changing into another person,
mate. And that is a message that we could finish up on, and I'm glad you touched on that. I got to be me through the whole process. I'm just a regular bloke from a small town. A lot of people didn't think I could do it. And a lot of people didn't want me to do it because I'm just a regular bloke. Why is this guy? You know what I mean? But I'm just showing if you put your mind, wherever you put your mind to, you can do it. Don't let anyone tell you can't. I'm a good example of that. There's a lot of people that didn't think I was going to make it, didn't think I would be able to get there, telling me I had to go here, telling me I had to go there, telling me you need to do this, telling me you need to do that. And I pretty much said, with respect, fuck you, I'm doing it my way. And we did it. So, I'm sorry for swearing then, but at the same time, that's something that I do want to leave with the listeners, that again, don't let anyone tell you who you should be. You be yourself and be proud of it. And I'm proud that I can be myself, and I'm champion whether people like it or not. And I'm here to stay, baby. Let's go.
All right, Alex, man, I appreciate the time. I'm looking forward to you getting back in there early 2021 and have an incredible run this year, man. I hope you fight like 3 times at least, man. Champs don't fight that much, it seems like.
Yeah, man. Well, obviously this year, this year's been crazy, but I mean, 2021. Hopefully, we can change that. Hopefully, the vaccines or whatever it is can make it. I want 3 fights again. I want to get back to that number that I've always 3 months within the 12 months. That's always been my number, and I want to do that again. So March date is looking good. I'll leave you with that. We haven't heard nothing but March. Get me in there. Let's announce it. Let's make it happen. Woo! All right, brother. Thank you.
Take a move in the ring. You can hit me with a word you feel.